Last presenter is Alan Ruff, host of WORT-FM's A Public Affair, and a historian, and he's going to speak on the myth of defense and the permanent war economy. Welcome, Alan.
When I first began to get involved in this opposition to the F-35s, I was hearing from people, well, what's the big deal with noise and pollution and so on? It's just people on the north side, the northeast side. Well, I live downtown. And I realized that that was becoming a kind of dismissive, well, that's just NIMBY crap, right? Not in my backyard. Well, we live in a huge backyard. It's called the globe. I want to talk for a few minutes about the permanent war economy. That is the root of all the problems and issues that have been discussed by this panel today. It's the perpetual system of war, the preparation that siphons off 0.54%, over half the percent total of every discretionary federal tax dollar goes to the military. Right. To what Brian Benford referred to as Dwight Eisenhower's speech, that military-industrial complex is more accurately today understood as the military-industrial congressional university complex. It's a giant system devouring resources from our national well-being and the patrimony that we pass to our next generations. It annually siphons off billions from domestic needs in the name of what? You hear from the proponents here every day. In the name of defense and security. This crazy phrase, that noise we hear flying overhead is the sound of freedom. BS. That jet-propelled system of insane spending and profit is stemming from the realization made long ago, comes from that realization made long ago, as far back as the Civil War, if not earlier, that war and the preparation for war is immensely profitable. Part of Pierre's phrase, talk that he gave, he says, this has nothing to do with security or defense or even weapons. It has to do with spending and making money, taking money from all of us in the room. Very quick numbers. Approximately $55.5 billion went into research and development for this plane. Right? The real cost of the F-35 it will be above $100 million per plane for the fiscal year 2020. Each plane, now dig on this. They tell us we should be efficient with our fuel economy, right? Each plane costs an estimated $44,000 an hour to fly. Okay. A single pilot's helmet, parenthetically or incidentally, created by a joint venture between Lockheed Martin and an Israeli electronics firm, each pilot's helmet cost $400,000. The annual operating cost of each of these planes is now projected at, each of these projected 64,000 planes will be $5 million each. That's just operating cost. Right? In total, we're talking about $1.5 trillion through the life of this plane. We're looking at hidden costs, immense budget overrides, costly delays, wasteful inefficiencies. Right now, and this gets to the heart of the congressional support for these planes. Lockheed Martin subcontracts to 1,600 firms in 250 congressional districts in 48 states, plus contributions from the coffers of 8 or 9 now international partners that are drawing from their people to pay to buy these airplanes. Some F-35s are already in use. As early as November of 2018, Israel used them to attack places in Syria and more recently in Iraq. From 1789 until 1947, the nation had what was called then a War Department. It was renamed the Defense Department in 1949, at the height of the Cold War. After all, we're the good guys, they're the bad guys, and we only defend things. We're not offensive, we're not war makers. How else could the Pentagon planners, the White House national insecurity planners and strategists, the war profiteers, and the congressional allies publicly justify the nuclear arms race, the ever-increasing appropriations for new, ever more costly weapons systems? The F-35, while being sold to the public in the name of defense, is an offensive weapon, as has been said here before. It is, in essence, the tip of the tip of the spear, an attack weapon that will be utilized when deemed necessary or fit by the unfit. Now the question is, can these planes be stopped? Can the Air Force be made to back off the basing of planes here? That depends, of course, on the strength of the opposition, our strength. It's time for the people of Madison to send a message, to reclaim our history as a progressive center of opposition to war and militarism. This area became an international node of opposition on numerous occasions, dating back not just to Vietnam, but to the days of fighting Bob La Follette, when he got up in the Senate and said, "This is boondoggle, this is waste, this is war profiteering, and it must not go on." He said that in opposition to the U.S. entry into World War I. We have to say, we, everyone in this room, and everyone we know, as I said before, we must send a message that these murderous war machines, these attack jets, will do nothing to actually provide real defense and security, and certainly not well-being. That in actuality, we must assure that the worsening of living conditions must not take place, especially for those already relegated to the lower rungs of the all too often racialized economic ladder. I'm urging people to turn out, and to bring everyone you know to turn out on February 29th as we go on a parade to the gates of Truax, because our massive visibility there is key. Otherwise, we're dismissed, we're written off as just a few radicals or discontents or local NIMBY folks. We all have to get mobilized, motivated, and please join in however and wherever you can and spread the word about why we must oppose this monster.